Masters London is here, and so what we're gonna do is today we're gonna take a look at the map elo ratings for each of the teams attending, and then we're gonna do the power rankings, which will be the main part of this video. And then tomorrow we will do the pick'ems as well as look at the first 4 matches of the Swiss stage and see at how I think they'll go in terms of map veto. But let's head right into this video. So first up, we're going to take a look at the map elo ratings. And so these are the map elo ratings for the 12 teams attending on Ascent, Breeze, Fracture, Haven, Lotus, Pearl, and Split, which is the current map rotation. Now, as for Ascent, this map only got added in for the majority of the regions during playoffs. So the data on that is a bit iffy. I don't think it's gonna say a whole lot. It's not gonna be super representative. And yeah, kind of for Lev, Lotus, and for DRG and Vitality, Fracture are the only 3 real perma bans that we have in this. And yeah, with the Ascent bans, I think they will change probably with these teams having a lot of time to prepare for Masters London. That's it for the elo ratings on each of the maps. And then in terms of the overall, number 1 is Paper Rex, who are leading by quite a bit, I would say, in front of Heretics and G2. Then a bit of a gap to EDG, and then XLG and NRG, who are close by. Then Vitality and Full Sense, and then after Lev, these 3 are somewhat close, and then kind of a bit more of a huge gap for global esports, and then another big gap for DRG and Foot then. In terms of the elo rating, I would say overall it's quite decent. I would say if you just bump down XLG a bit, because I don't think XLG are quite that strong, then this could be quite representative of how good these teams are. Maybe putting Lev a bit higher. Like in terms of performance, if you switch around Lev and XLG, I think that's a pretty good picture of what these teams would have looked like during playoffs. But yeah, with Lev and Heretics, we don't know how good they will be, since I think they're the 2 teams that are hit the hardest by the Neon nerfs. But yeah, let's take a closer look at that in the power rankings. And as I've just teased on a bit, yeah, we had some big changes, or maybe not so big. I don't think Neon is dead quite yet. I still think we are gonna see some playing time with Neon. At least I think for Koshmaras, he's probably gonna keep it. I've heard that Lev is with Spike, he's not playing on Neon anymore, and is playing on Jet reportedly. So I don't know if that's gonna happen. I thought they would also stick with Neon. For most of the other teams, I assumed that they would probably change, since there are also quite a bit of teams for whom it's better when their duelists don't have to play Neon anymore. But let's now get right into the power rankings. And starting off in D tier, I would put DRG for sure. I think I might only put DRG in D tier. I think even within China, they've clearly been weaker than XLG and EDG have. So it kind of makes sense for me to put them a bit lower. I think overall the gap between China and EMEA shouldn't be as big this tournament. And yeah, with DRG, they are just the Wukushu show. So yeah, I hope we get to see some great performances from him. I'm so excited to see him on the international stage. Been waiting for that for so long. But yeah, I don't think the team overall is that good, and I think the Neon nerfs might be good for this team. I don't think life was great on Neon, so it could end up working out for them. But yeah, still feel like life is kind of really 50-50. But maybe if he's off the Neon, it'll be better, so we'll have to wait and see. Then in C tier, I will put Foot as well as XLG. I'm not too sure whether to put another team in there, but I'm gonna keep it like this for now. I think for XLG, they've looked clearly better than DRG. They've always beaten them. I don't think the nerfs are gonna hit them hard, so uh, I don't think that's gonna change much. I think they're a team that generally has a little bit of upset potential, but from what we've seen at internationals thus far, they've just never shown that. They kind of always disappointed a bit, so because of that, I'm a bit low on them. And then Foot, I think there's a lot of inexperience in this team, and yeah, I think they've clearly looked like the weakest team outside of the Chinese teams. So yeah, that's why I have them in C tier. Then for B tier, I think I will put Full Sense. I will put Vitality in there. I would also put GE and Lev in there. Um, I'm not too sure whether to put EDG in there as well, but I think I'm gonna keep it like this. I will put GE as the weakest out of these teams. I think they will be quite happy to be at this international already. I think they kind of live and die by Patman performing insane, and I don't think they have super high potential at this tournament. I think they'll be happy if they make it out of Swiss, and I do think they have a good shot at it, but yeah, I don't think they will be looking to make it really deep. Then next up, I think I would put Lev at the top of B team probably. I think they've looked the most solid out of these teams. They've looked like really, really good within Americas, but obviously with the neon changes, I think it's gonna hurt Lev overall. Also, there's again a lot of inexperience in this team, a lot of young guys, only really King who's really experienced, so I don't know how much it's gonna affect the team. I hope it won't, but yeah, with the changes and then first time being on a huge stage and at an international, I just don't know how well they will perform. For Vitality, I think they have looked quite good. I think they're an experienced team, especially with Turkey and Kron. They have a lot of experience. Yampi also being really experienced. I don't think they're gonna suffer from inexperience, even though they also have a young guy with Sayonara. I don't think that's gonna be an issue. Sayonara has looked quite good actually, probably like their best member. So for them, I think it's a bit about getting experience, and it's just due to them only really performing in playoffs and not performing previously. So because of that, it feels hard to really believe in this team because it's only been such a short time now that they've performed. But I would be happy if they prove me wrong. And then for Full Sense, I think this is kind of just the Primi show, and I think from the match versus Paper X, you could see the issues that this team might run into. Um, right, if they play against top teams, I think they sometimes overheat a bit. They also don't have too much experience, so because of that, I might be a bit low on them. But to be fair to them, the Neon nerfs shouldn't be they shouldn't be bad for them. So I might actually put them above Vitality. I think the Neon nerf shouldn't affect this team. They might actually be better, with Primi being insane on whether he plays the Jet or the Phoenix. With his Jet probably looking more fun, but I don't know. I think his Phoenix might be better. But yeah, I'm just so excited to see Primi at this international, and yeah, I'll be happy if they perform better than this. But this is where I see them realistically. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna add EDG in B tier as well. Um, I don't know. China hasn't performed that well, and even though now from the community I see a lot more excitement around EDG and a lot more hope around this team. It's kind of that I still have to see it until I believe it. So for the moment, I feel like they just beat bad teams in China, and yeah, we'll have to see them do it at an international again, because it's been over a year since we've really seen them do that. So because of that, I'm putting them in B tier. But to be fair to them, the Neon changes should be really great for them. Kakang never performed that well on Neon, and I think Jet is just a perfect agent for him. And so with them probably picking a bit more Jet, and then also Smoggy looking really good on the Phoenix, I think that could be really good for his team, and I hope that we see some great performances from EDG once again. But yeah, I think being decently optimistic is probably the right way to look at this team. And because I now have so many teams in BT, I think I'm gonna move GE down. I think this is decently reasonable to have like 4 teams. So the 4 teams that I think will be eliminated in Swiss stage, to have them outside of B tier, so C and D tier. I think that kind of makes sense. But now when it comes to A tier, I'm gonna put G2 in there, as well as NRG and Heretics, which puts Paper X as the only S tier team. I think Paper X clearly come into this tournament as the favorites. I think, yeah, reasonably you couldn't put any other team in a tier with them. They've looked so much better than any other team. And with a lot of teams struggling, Paper X has still looked strong. So yeah, anything but putting them as clear favorites for this event seems a bit foolish to me. So that's why Paper X are the only S tier team. And then at the top of A tier, I will put G2. I think they have looked the best, and I think they I think it's kind of at the point again where G2 are probably making it deep and then at an international, and then at the end they're gonna disappoint. It's been the story for quite some while now, but I don't know, I just see it happening again, and they've just looked so well both individually and as a team, so I can't really put them any lower than that, but also I wouldn't really put them higher since they have not looked to be on Paper X level. Then between Energy and Heretics, I'm not too sure on who to put higher. I think in terms of performance from what we've seen, probably Heretics. But if I take the Neon nerfs into consideration, I'm gonna put Energy above Heretics. For NRG, I think Ethan's calling has been really great. Brock has just been insane. Like, he's looked like the best player in Americas, which is crazy. And also Kiko has been performing really great. Like, you could see he really wanted to make it to Masters London. Um, so yeah, I think NRG are for sure the best outside of the 1 seed teams, and they I think they will make it deep in the playoffs as well. Also, they start off with a really favorable matchup versus XLG, so that should be a nice, easy start for them. And then I think they're gonna make it deep. For Heretics, I think they've looked incredible, clearly like the best team out of EMEA. And yeah, I think the main issue for them is the neon issue, the neon nerfs coming in. And I think it's gonna affect the team a bit, but not too much. I hope that they will still continue to play neon, since Kosh has looked so great with it. And I can't really imagine them doing the same stuff with a different duelist. But maybe they'll prove me wrong. I think for them, they could go on a run and make it even to top 3. But I think putting them in 4th place is reasonable. And yeah, these are my power rankings. Let me know in the comments with which placements you agree and with which you disagree. So as I've said before, I think Paper Eggs are clearly the favorites for Masters London. So I believe that Paper Eggs are gonna win. Do you agree with that? Who do you have winning? And then I'll see you guys tomorrow for the pick'ems.